Hello. Filming. 今天是拍照相的。This would be a lot nicer if I was hitting my KPIs.
Welcome back to the light side of the internet. And by light side, I mean the light of your computer screen that you have to be glued to every waking hour, because if you aren't glued to it, you think that you're not being productive. Therefore, you think you are a deadweight. Therefore, you think you're actually a drain on society, and you need to lock in and stay in that grind set mindset.
Oh my God. Who said that?
Productivity. It's basically a cult. I feel like as someone who grew up in the money-hungry culture of America, productivity is like that one song that you cannot get out of your head. It was probably fed to you by the TikTok algorithm. It keeps you up at night, and no matter how hard you try to drown it out, there's always that one little voice inside of your head that's going, work, 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 work. You see me? I'm at work, work. But the thing is, productivity in itself isn't bad. For me, and I would say for most people I know, being productive gives people a sense of purpose and makes them feel good about their days. You know, rather than rotting in their bed 6 to 8 hours a day. Also, don't look at me like I'm a hypocrite. This is my rest day. I earn the right to rot. You see, the main beef I have with productivity is productivity content.
I cannot deal with inefficient people.
Go to sleep, I wake up, I work. Go to sleep, wake up, work. Do that 7 days a week.
And I think it's because like in sales, like time is money. Like if you're wasting my time, I'm going to the next person.
My actual productivity routine. Sleep until I wake up, caffeine, nicotine, earplugs, a room with no window.
If I had to summarize how to be successful in life in 2 words, I would just say productize yourself.
Productivity content is all over the place these days. And I don't just mean that by you can find it from the cesspools of LinkedIn all the way to, well, commentary YouTube these days. But I also mean that it is all over the place these days. We have stuff like productivity tips, productivity gurus, ASMR for productivity, fix your gut health to increase your productivity. Are you doing nothing? Here's a podcast about productivity so you can be productive while learning how to be productive. Is it working? Are you more productive now? Is your guilt about rotting all day gone now?
Can you like leave me the f alone?
8 productivity hacks I found essential to helping me get things done fast and have me feeling accomplished at the end of each day. 1. I will not pick up unscheduled calls, and I'm mindful about when I choose to respond to personal texts, which tends to be in the afternoon and evenings. 2. I have working hours from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., which creates guardrails for when I work and builds healthy internal pressure to get things done timely. 3. I commit to 2-hour focus sprints and then force myself to get up and go for a 10-minute walk to reset my mind. 4. I meal prep my lunch so that I don't miss a beat with my workflow and I can jump back in quickly after eating.
Well, according to this guy, I'm about 4 hours behind schedule. So let's get to work.
5. I create a daily to-do list based on what needs my attention first, and this helps me not waste any time trying to figure out what to do next. 6. I block out my mornings for my most important tasks, such as creative work or anything that I need to personally get done myself. 7. I use my afternoons for secondary tasks, busy work, or to take calls and have meetings.
I just want to take a moment to appreciate the fact that he is taking work calls in the tallest, emptiest, and echoiest room in his house. Does anyone know what the hell this guy is saying? I have no idea. Okay, it's not just me. Why is he talking in a cave? Look, I think on a video by video basis, this type of content is probably actually helpful for some people. And I think that some people can definitely benefit from someone telling them to do stuff like setting hard working hours, going outside to take a walk, and making a to-do list.
Millionaires don't use to-do lists, they time box. It's a technique Harvard Business ranked as the #1 most effective productivity hack.
Not making a to-do list. Also, I just want to say that I don't think Elon Musk is the best example to put here because I'm pretty sure his time box looks just like this. 7 a.m. Get coffee. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Twitter shit posting. 8 p.m. Now, you may have noticed, yes, I do indeed have a time boxing journal. And no, I didn't just buy it for this skit. But I also didn't buy it because some bozo online told me that Elon Musk does the same thing. I bought it because it works for my own unique brain. My main gripe with productivity content is that it creates this illusion that everyone is the same and that everyone will benefit from using all these tips and tricks. And if you don't, there's clearly something wrong with you, or you're doing it wrong, or you're just dumb, or you're just stupid, and you're definitely a disappointment to your entire bloodline. What do you mean you don't want to spend $50 a day on coffee and lunch just to be productive? What are you, a brokey? Yeah, that's an actual thing that somebody said.
The best productivity hack of all time is to break your day up into 4 or 5 different places. Sit down at your desk in the morning, get 2 to 3 things done. Walk to a cafe, get 2 to 3 more things done. Stop for lunch. Walk to a new coffee shop after lunch to get 2 to 3 more things done. It literally turns your workday into a game. And if you're watching this and you're saying, oh, I live in the north, it's cold out, it's winter, there's no sun, I don't want to walk anywhere, I just want to stay inside, that's your first mistake.
You know, turning my day into a game does sound appealing. If only that game wasn't in Tampa, fucking Florida. Excuse me. And this is a lesson that I wish I learned when I was in school. Different strokes for different folks. Different tools for different fools. When I was in school, I used to brute force my way through assignments, even though my at the time undiagnosed ADHD was fighting me every step of the way. It was like I was just mentally stuck, which ironically is actually the name of today's partner. Unstuck Study. Has this ever been you? It's 8 a.m. and the first lecture of the day after getting 3 hours of sleep. You're trying to understand the professor and take helpful notes, but your notebook looks like this because all your brain can hear is... Don't lie. I know you have. You're probably there right now. And I don't blame you. School is hard. Look, schools are still filled with traditional ways of learning, but it doesn't need to be like that. Unstuck is a tool that gives students access to an alternative way of retaining information. Are you unable to focus on your lecture? It can record the lecture for you, transcribe it in real time, and get notes for you. You can even interact with your notes in real time, asking questions about the lecture. And when it's time to study, you can create flashcards and unlimited quizzes out of those notes in 2 minutes. Let's take your good old OChem class, for example. Could you not stay awake during your lecture because you're up studying till 3? Do you not know the difference between an alkane and an alkene because your reading comprehension is temporarily at a first grade level? If you're using Unstuck, all you need to do is put in your lecture recording and any course documents you may have, and then voila! Unstuck will generate you flashcards, quizzes, and easy to digest overviews within seconds. You can even have a conversation with Unstuck if that's the best way that you learn. And know that alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons with only single carbon-carbon bonds, while alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons with at least one carbon-carbon double bond. See? You knew it this entire time. Look, I totally get the hesitation about using AI, especially in the context of school. Trust me, I made a whole video about the topic about AI usage in school. But in that video, I did make a point that there are actual good applications for AI. And Unstuck is a tool that I truly believe can bridge socioeconomic gaps within learning and assist neurodivergent people like me. I have a lot of trouble retaining information if I just read and write and sit in lectures. And I didn't like going to office hours because it's scary. So honestly, I wish I had a tool like this when I was in university because no one should be trying to raw dog their neurodivergence or like just general exhaustion. Since it's back to school season, start recording your lectures from day 1. So when you have a test, you can easily turn all of your notes into flashcards and quizzes with Unstuck. You can try Unstuck for free with the link in the description, or go visit unstuckstudy.sunshine.com. Like I said, if it works for you, that's awesome. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean you didn't do it right, or you're inherently flawed as a person. One person's productivity may be someone else's ADHD spiral, but content giving people advice on how to be more productive is really just the tip of a surprisingly unproductive iceberg. Advice and tips and tricks are at the very least informative, if not helpful. And then we have this type of content.
What tip can we steal from billionaire morning routines?
Here's the key. Take advantage of your brain's peak flow state by diving directly into your work, those morning routines into the afternoon as a re-up to allow yourself to have a second wind later in the day.
Oh, thank God he's finally out of the cave. It's about harmonizing workflow ecosystems to maximize stakeholder impact and drive sustainable performance metrics. I still have no idea what he's talking about. I've said before that I truly believe that AI could be our best opportunity to bridge socioeconomic gaps and make the world a better place. And you know what? I stand by that statement. There are applications that can help neurodivergent students keep up with the pace of learning that their peers can achieve. There are already cases of AI finding signs of diseases well before any trained doctor could see them. I missed. And while AI does have an impact on the environment, its proliferation is actually driving a new boom in renewable energy. With a lot of the data centers that are used to drive AI are actually fully powered by renewable energy. There's a spot that is really hard to get out right now. See, I've always prided myself to not be a Luddite and always trying to see the best in both people and technology. Until I saw how this guy uses AI.
What's the difference between failed and successful entrepreneurs?
Most people just aren't trying hard enough. Sun Tzu said, "Success belongs to those willing to pay its price."
Imagine having a personality so boring that you can't even find an alpha male podcast to go on to. So you make your entire shtick to be cleavage. And yes, I know that's objectification. That is just what he is doing here. Asking you questions that you generated in ChatGPT. And then you answering those same questions with answers that you generated in ChatGPT. Oh, he also started AI generating the cleavage.
What made you start building AI companions in the first place?
I spent about 15 years.
You also can't just quote Sun Tzu and somehow pretend that that makes your point valid. Sun Tzu also said, "The greatest victory is that which does not require any battle." So I consider me taking a rot break an absolute win. Not for my plants though. So this is totally unrelated to the video, but I want you guys to see this really cool tomato plant that's growing out of my monstera. Little hitchhiker. I use this basically as my water indicator. When it starts drooping, I know that I kind of need to water the monstera. And when it's full like this, that means the monstera is happy and healthy. You know what? Actually, this does have something to do with the video. It's work smarter, not harder. And don't listen to the opinions of random internet people because more often than not, they're not there to help you. They're there to take your money. Which brings me to another gripe I have about productivity content. How expensive being productive is made out to be. Freaking sheets are not cooperating today. That took way more effort than it was supposed to be. You see, so many of these videos are not only filled with empty platitudes like this one here.
Fill your mind in the afternoons with things like books, learning, and socialization. Empty your mind in the evening with things like journaling, planning, and meditation.
But they also feature insanely curated and expensive productivity setups. And I know this is true because I too was a victim of big productivity.
Part 10 of creating the most aesthetic and productive desk setup.
If you work from home and you're trying to declutter your home office desk setup, you need to check out these monitor arm mounts in the TikTok shop.
Here's a full breakdown of the desk I use. It's the FlexiSpot Premium Standing Desk E7.
If you want to land your next dream internship or job, having the right tech essentials are a must.
I was also one of the unwitting many who were fooled by the algorithm that I needed stuff like a standing desk, an arm for my monitor, and this fucking thing, which is a $360 desk shelf that's made from what I'm pretty sure is $15 of particle board and the roughest aluminum that they could find, all in the name to boost productivity. It does make the desk look really nice though. I don't know about $360 nice, but you know, $80, yeah. The thing is, despite having spent a considerable sum on this Instagram-worthy desk setup, I actually find that sometimes I am the least productive when I'm working at my desk. And I actually work best when I'm sitting in my cheap-ass chair I got off of Facebook Marketplace with terrible posture, with nothing but my laptop and my cat enjoying his outside time. He's actually really afraid of going outside, so this is what I call his outside time. So no, you really don't need that really nice looking Ugg Monk to-do list. Because if millionaires don't use to-do lists, then why the hell do you need to be a millionaire in order to afford this Ugg Monk to-do list? But with all that being said, I did notice this one product that consistently showed up on all these productivity TikToks.
I'm going to use my Pomodoro timer here because I'm obsessed with it. I got it on Amazon. You basically adjust the time by turning the wheel and it just counts down.
I have this timer that I have on my desk, which it's the easiest purchase you can make. I think it was like $7 on Amazon. It's a little twist kitchen timer. It's very easy.
One way that I stay super productive is actually by using this timer right here. Every time that I sit down to edit, I take my timer, put it up to 30 minutes.
Okay, so if all of these people are recommending this one product, it's gotta work, right? It's like they read my mind.
I still hate these stairs.
So what we're gonna do here is set this to 30 minutes and see where it goes. So it is a couple days in the future, and I've had some time to kind of like work with the timer and kind of implement the Pomodoro method into my workflow. And I have to say, it does kind of work. Now for full transparency, I am on Adderall, so that probably helped. But you know, there are days where I'm still on Adderall and I still have trouble focusing. Usually my routine is like 5 days off and then none on the weekends, but because of how kind of extensive this video was, I kind of had to take an extra 2 days. And usually about day 5, the Adderall doesn't really start to hit the same. And you know, you have to kind of take caffeine with it, but it is currently day 7 on Adderall with no breaks. While it doesn't hit the same, I'm still able to do my work because kind of the timer does exactly as it says. Actually, I have the timer on right now. You know, if I have a lot of work to do, I kind of just set it to 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, I get to take like a little 5 to 10 minute break. And then I just reset it back to 30 minutes and then continue working like that. And, you know, even just today, I've kind of done that for like 4 times in a row. And every time I kind of am fully focused on the task at hand. So I don't know, maybe it works for you. I would say give it a go. Like I did find a lot of these on Amazon. This one was like $10. Haven't found one that was like $7 yet because inflation is a bitch in Trump's America. Oftentimes I would find myself like, I have it on silent and I just keep working. I work for like 45 minutes at a time then. Whereas usually I would have trouble just even finishing a single panel of editing without wanting to doom scroll or anything. So, oh, yeah, this is for an effect. I'm not actually on YouTube. So if you see weird Sully here, that's what that is. So anyways, on to the next topic. Welcome to my rooftop. Please don't dox me. For those of you in the audience who are a little bit older than me, you may be aware of the millennial hustle culture and how millennials prided themselves on working hard and playing hard. Some of you, including those of you on TikTok talking about Gen Z, may think that Gen Z doesn't like to work hard nor play hard. You're right. We don't play hard. You need money to do that. But the work hard part for Gen Z is still there. It's just that we don't call it hustle culture anymore. We call it locking in.
Today's the day, September 1st, Labor Day, day one of the great lock-in.
I don't know if you've heard, but a lot of people are locking in from today, September 1st, until December 1st.
If you're doing the great lock-in from September 1st to December 31st, these are the 3 foods you need to avoid if you actually want to drop body.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our moment. This one singular instance, this time, is like no other. Definitely not like the lock-in of January to July 2025, or August to December 2024, or January to July 2025. But there's still a difference between lock-in culture and hustle culture. While millennials prided themselves on working themselves to the bone to achieve the American dream of being house poor, Gen Z takes a little bit more of a holistic approach to lock-in mindset. Now, you may think that this is actually a healthy alternative. I would actually disagree. Because locking in doesn't mean we take a healthy and balanced approach to our life. No, it means we chug 5-hour energies and do everything that used to bring us joy until it burns us out. Going on 5 a.m. runs till your knees blow out. Every single social gathering is now a networking event. Taking a bunch of stims and then playing Fortnite. That's also locking in, I suppose.
You're just a bitch. Honestly, that's not me trying to be some after school special shit. You really are a bitch.
You've made no progress.
get back to work?
None. You never moved.
This is what I like to call motivational porn, but instead of getting you up, it gets you up. A lot of people, not me though, definitely not me, use these tracks to give them extra motivation to get out of bed and lock in. But here's the thing about motivational gooning. Just like regular gooning, you'll eventually goon too close to the sun. Whereas before, a simple TikTok that had the text "carry the boats" would get you through to new PRs at the gym. Now David Goggins telling you that you're a little bitch with alpha male music blaring in the background can barely even get you out of bed. Now look at you. You're in bed, letting a half-naked man talk dirty to you. You disgusting piece of... So when motivational gooners inevitably reach this crossroad, they either take the light side, wherein they find actual sustainable lifestyle changes, or they take the dark side, aka productivity degeneracy.
I don't give a fuck if your mother died in your arms. Where's the fucking weekly report, you cunt? I'm serious. I don't give a shit. We've had guys, their wife is giving birth. I don't give a shit. Nobody, don't you understand? Nobody cares about all the trials and tribulations of your fucking weak life. Don't you understand that?
I had to go to my safe space after that one. Dan Pena is a motivational speaker who is best known for popping a hernia every time he's on stage. He started his career on Wall Street in the 60s, and if the Wolf of Wall Street is anything to go by, was a time where anyone with a pulse and a flexible moral compass could make a fortune. And he made his fortune by... Actually, how did he make his fortune?
Then how do you turn $60,000 to $65 million in 100 days? In 100 days.
Back in those days, and this is why I'm called a financial wizard, is that there was no law in the world on any major stock exchange that you could not take an option to buy public. And so I took a $60,000 option on oil and gas properties in the DJ Basin, which is basically Wyoming, public on the London Stock Exchange, and I turned it into 65 million pounds, which is 100 million bucks in one day.
So he's a gambling addict. Dan Pena represents the most extreme form of productivity gooning. Whereas David Goggins will only go onto a podcast to call you a bitch, Dan Pena will charge you $25,000 to call you a bitch to your face over the course of 8 days.
When I was 25, 30, 35, 40 years old, I'd be embarrassed to say I couldn't come up with 20 grand. And I didn't have any money. So how's it now? Nobody can come up with 20 grand. How is it? How is it possible? Are y'all making $2 an hour like I did in high school? I mean, think about it. Just think about it.
Okay, Dan. Let's think about it. Based on your age, you were in high school in about 1960. The average cost of university in 1960 was around $1,300, and that's being generous. If you were making $2 an hour, which by the way is equivalent to $20 an hour today, you would be able to pay off your entire annual college costs in about a summer of work. Compare that to today, the university system I went to cost about $42,000 in total per year. If you were paid the inflation adjusted amount that he was paid back in the day, it would take you over a year to pay off your university costs. So basically, Dan Pena, you're just a bitch. And herein lies the unfortunate part about productivity. It's always about the money. Enter your brain's flow state for money. Optimize your health and nutrition for money. Spend all your money on productivity gear and equipment for money. But I already have the money. Just spend it. On what? A pink Porsche. A pink...
If you don't know what you want to do in life, learn sales. Let me show you something. So this is my car. I drive a pink Porsche.
This is Shelby Sapp, and she has a pink Porsche. Was there anything else?
All the girlies want the rich Porsche Pilates mom lifestyle. I drive a pink Porsche. Super cute. Love her. All the girlies want the rich Porsche Pilates mom lifestyle. Well, let me show you something. Look at this. Just hear me out. So this is my car. Pink Porsche. I'm about to put you guys on a cheat code. Look at this. This is my car. Pink Porsche.
Suppose not. Shelby Sapp is another one of those productivity gurus that are trying to sell you something. It's just that the stuff she's selling you is the end product of all this locking in and being productive. Specifically, locking in to your sales skills. Oh, Do you also want a pink Porsche and my lifestyle? Then pay me $4,000 so I can show you the secrets of how to sell things. What are we selling though? Sales. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, Shelby, you can't just sell sales. That's like going to a restaurant and the shelf tells you to eat. Are you crazy? 1-star Yelp review. Still better than Denny's though. But just like if you enjoy eating the slop that you can find in the bottom of your garbage can that Denny's likes to call food, you would be wrong. See, Shelby Sapp, even with her lack of experience and only real qualification being that she owns a pink Porsche, is actually really good at high ticket sales. It's just that the only thing she's good at selling is her high ticket online sales course. What I realized when I was deep diving into her content, other than the pink Porsche and the closet that costs more than my net worth, or the ongoing $10 million lawsuit that she has for the alleged breach of contract that she did with her previous business partner, is that Shelby Sapp is selling a dream.
The guy with the aesthetic Instagram is never going to provide for you.
And just like how you shouldn't trust men who have curated Instagram profiles, you shouldn't trust business people who evangelize their lives on social media. And I should know, my latest Instagram photo was this. No, I don't know why my arms are like that. Maybe I was just trying to puff up my arms like a cat around my tall ass friends. F***ing Carson at 6 foot 19,000 inches or some bullshit. Because people who are actually successful in business don't have the mental bandwidth to curate a social media image. And if they do, that means this social media is their business. Shelby also has this video that represents one side of productivity talk that I hate the most. The good old morning routine. And speaking of morning routines, I think it's time for my walk. Morning routines and productivity go hand in hand because to have a productive day and make money, you have to have a killer morning routine as well. If you want to be productive, then you have to start your days by making your bed or taking a cold shower or going on a walk in the morning. Just kidding. Kind of. The walks really do help.
What are you reporting on?
Not reporting, just working on my next video. The following is a recreation of this exact TikTok. I'm freezing my ass off. Also, I just took my Adderall, so I don't have the appetite for breakfast. Can we just skip to the part where it's warmer? Much better. I guess that one doesn't really work if you live in a location with a marine layer in the morning, or snow, or like any weather except for sunny, but I digress. Woo! I love this weather. The main problem I find with these is that this is almost a self-joiking way of showing off their wonderfully productive days, when in reality, it's not really verifiable whether they did all these things or not. Also, I hate recording in public, and I'm visibly shaking right now. Like, you know when you find a good habit that kind of works for a bit and now you're hyper focused on that one single thing? And in some cases, like these people, post all about it on your social media, only to burn out in the next week and then never do that habit again. No? It's just me? Okay, moving on. The funny thing is, some of these things are actually verifiably false.
The greatest morning routine to skyrocket your productivity. First things first, as soon as I wake up, I always drink at least 3 to 4 cups of water. Now, to set the right tone for the day, quickly make your bed. It's super important that you don't go on your phone or drink caffeine the first hour after waking up.
Brother, the clock says 1:47 p.m. This isn't even a morning routine at this point. It's currently 1:47 in San Francisco. Does it look like morning here? No, because the mornings are all cloudy and depressing. I would know. I'm super depressed. And here's the thing, even this whole routine thing that I did throughout this video is not something that I would necessarily do every day. Yes, I may have watered my plants, cleaned my kitchen, and even, as you can see here, go outside. Hey, buddy. Oh my God, that dog was so fluffy. But there are days when I don't do all or even any of these things. Some days I just wake up, against my will, and the weather is horrible all day. So all I do is watch a 4-hour documentary on the Franco-Prussian War of 1871. And you know what? That is totally fine. Look, I think that most people, myself included, have this idea that productivity is this constant state of being that you have to be in all the time, or else you're useless to society and you should feel bad for it. But I think reality can be much more flexible than that. Like, even when I was scripting this video, I had 2 very productive days, but then I had another 2 days hyper-focused on listening to 50 different covers of the Monsters, Inc. theme. And this one is the best one that I found. But no matter how hard you try, there's always going to be times where you're not mentally all there. Or you're going to spend a bit too long doom scrolling for your liking. Or maybe you're just tired. And that's okay. Like, even David Goggins, who is praised by productivity gooners as the most masculine, alpha, and pristine image of a productive man, was apparently a deadbeat father. I guess the fastest run that David Goggins ever ran was the one from his responsibilities. Let's go. So yeah, it's okay to have days where you just rot. Because here's the thing. If you're working hard for 3 days in a row, you're probably gonna wanna take the 4th to just kind of do nothing and rest. Which is exactly what I'm gonna do right now. How you doing? I'm back. Look, I am a content creator. I know, shocking. And while I am truly blessed to be in a situation where I can work for myself, trying to find that balance between work and life has been harder than I expected. I'm just gonna brush my teeth before I continue. I mean, you don't want me talking like this the entire time, right? When I worked that traditional 8 to 6, at the very least I had weekends. And there were many times where we were done with a project and there was really no more work to do. But since being self-employed, there's really no such thing as a time when you're done with work. Because with YouTube, there's always more work to do. Even when I get ahead on a project or a video and I finish early, guess what? Now there's another video I have to make. And what productivity culture kind of tells you to do is that, you know, as long as there's work to do, just keep doing the work. The problem is then, especially in a field like YouTube, I found myself in this constant cycle of wanting to take a break, but feeling guilty for taking a break because there was still work to do. Because when you're self-employed, there's always gonna be more jobs. So the one big thing that I think I took away from making this video is realizing that productivity is not a state of being. It's not working yourself to the bone or going 110% every time. It's just about being consistent. Just like you, you're always consistently cute, aren't you? Oh. Bye. You see, Stephen King famously said that he only writes 1,000 words every day for 4 hours a day, which honestly, if I'm super locked in, I usually can get about 1,000 words done in 1 to 2 hours. And yet, despite what seems like a minuscule amount of work every day, Stephen King has published well over 60 novels at this point. And it's not only that. Productivity isn't just your work. It's taking care of your health, cooking, cleaning, having a social life. Those are all things that are encompassed in productivity. Were you not able to get any work done today, but you were able to clean your entire house? Awesome. Congratulations on your productive day. And don't even get me started when it comes to productivity and having kids. If you were so busy being there for your kids during today and you weren't able to get anything on your to-do list done, guess what? That is still a very productive day. So don't feel bad about not hitting your TikTok imposed KPIs today. And don't think that you need to wake up at 5 a.m. every day just to be productive. Because honestly, maybe some of your best work happens at 10 p.m. in your bed, listening to half-naked men scream at you. Anyways, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go outside and take a walk today, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.